1735. A woman in the pine barrens of New Jersey goes into labor with her 13th child. She curses it before it's born. What comes out isn't human. It grows wings at the bedside, releases an unnatural scream and escapes up the chimney into the forest. For 300 years, people have reported seeing the same creature. Horse-like head, leathery wings, a cry that carries for miles. Most legends fade after a few decades. This one hasn't. Tonight, the Jersey Devil, not the folk story. The documented sightings, beginning with a colonial political feud that gave a monster its name, followed by a single week in 1909, when over 100 people across 2 states reported seeing the same thing. These stories have continued even to this day. Before the monster, there was a family. The Leeds were a prominent family. Daniel Leeds was a surveyor and publisher in the late 1600s. He printed almanacs, weather predictions, planting calendars, astronomical tables. Except Leeds included astrological symbols, planetary alignments, things his Quaker rivals in Philadelphia seized on immediately. They called his work demonic. They called him a devil worshipper. The attacks were printed and distributed throughout the colonies. Leeds fought back in print. The feud lasted decades, outliving Daniel and passing to his son, Titan Leeds, who then got into a famous public battle with Benjamin Franklin. For 2 generations, the Leeds name was dragged through the mud in public. Leeds Devil became shorthand for something dark, something unholy. And then, sometime around 1735, Deborah Leeds gave birth. The child was deformed, and a family name that had been smeared for 40 years suddenly has a face. A monster. Some historians argue this is where the Jersey Devil comes from, not the Pine Barrens. A political hit job that, over generations, people forgot was political and started believing was literal. But that theory has a problem. It doesn't explain what happened in 1909. January 16th, 1909. A creature is spotted in Woodbury, New Jersey. Witnesses describe wings, a long neck, a sound they can't identify. The next day, January 17th, it's seen in Bristol, Pennsylvania, 12 miles away. By January 18th, reports come from Burlington and Gloucester. January 19th, Trenton. A trolley car full of passengers reports being chased down the track by something with wings. January 20th, Camden. A business owner finds tracks in the snow leading to his poultry yard, prints that don't match any known animal. A police officer in Burlington fires his weapon at a creature on a rooftop. In 1 week, January 16th through January 23rd, 1909, over 100 sightings were documented across 2 states. Independent witnesses, towns separated by miles, same description, same week. Schools closed in Burlington, workers in Gloucester refused overnight shifts. The Philadelphia Inquirer ran front-page stories for an entire week, and then, as suddenly as it started, the wave stopped. The skeptic's explanation was a sandhill crane, a large bird with a wingspan that can reach 7 feet, whose call carries for miles. Witnesses at the time rejected that explanation. The tracks in the snow, they said, didn't match a bird. The Wharton State Forest covers 1.1 million acres, the largest stretch of undeveloped land on the eastern seaboard between Maine and the Florida Everglades. If something large and unidentified were living in North America, this is one of the few places it could stay hidden. Reports continued after 1909, sporadically through the 1930s and 40s, another spike in the 1960s, and as recently as the 1990s and early 2000s, hikers, hunters, and motorists in the Wharton State Forest have reported something they can't identify, something large, dark, and moving fast through the trees. If this were purely myth, the description would drift, like a game of telephone across centuries. It hasn't. It has been the same description across 300 years. 3 centuries. A political feud, a week of mass sightings and sightings that have continued to this day. If you've spent time in the Pine Barrens or anywhere with a story like this one, leave it in the comments. Stay skeptical, stay curious, and subscribe for more videos like this.